All right, hello. I'm doing this video for those who are choosing to learn Python as their second language in CS20. And I have a playlist already that teaches the basics of Python, and it uses repl.it as the programming environment. And repl.it is great for learning the second language because you just say, hey, I want to do Python, and you don't have to do any setup. You just kind of make a Python thing. But this video is an optional video for those that don't want to use repl.it and would rather run their Python code using Visual Studio Code. So if that's something that intrigues you, continue watching this video. Otherwise, go on to the rest of the playlist, and those videos will use repl.it. Those videos will still teach you the basics, just instead of running your code with repl.it, you'll run it using Visual Studio Code. So to set it up on your computer, I'm going to have a Windows machine here. I'm going to go download Python. Okay, download Python. So python.org downloads, great. And should take me to this main page here. There's the button, recommended version. Great, let's do that. And it should download it. Okay, so the idea here is that we're gonna install Python on our machine, and it comes with a built-in editor, but we're gonna use the non-built-in editor. Okay, so before you click install now, it's really important to add Python to the path. That's your environment variables, the path, so that it'll find Python no matter what folder you're in. You don't have to be in the folder where you installed it, but you can run Python from any folder. And that's important because we're going to have our projects in different folders. And then I think we can just do the basic install. Yes, please make changes. And it should come through. Okay, while we're waiting for this to go, I'm just going to go to my File Explorer here in CS20. Maybe I'll make a new folder for Python. And we'll go inside of here, and let's make a new folder for our first project called Hello World. It's a classic first project. Okay, this is done now. That's exciting. Close. Okay. So I'm going to go inside my Hello World folder, and I just want to open up a command prompt for a second here. So you can go to your start menu and type CMD, and that's just short. It'll find the searching for the command prompt, and that'll open up command prompt in your base folder. If you want to open up your command prompt in a different folder, a really easy way to do it is just if you have your folder open in here, you can just click in the command bar here and type CMD, and it should open the command prompt in the folder that you were in. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, to test if your install worked, you should be able to type python -- version. So python -- version, and ta-da, Python 3.10.5. If it doesn't say that, something bad happened in the install, and you should uninstall and install again, and hopefully it works. Okay, so that is now, we know Python is installed. Now what I want to do is open up Visual Studio Code, and actually there's a shortcut for that. Code dot will open up Visual Studio Code with that folder. So that's something from the command prompt you can do. It's a kind of a shortcut command in the command prompt to open up VS Code with the current directory. Right, so it has that Hello World directory. So we're going to open up and create a file called main.py. You want to make sure it has that .py extension at the end of the file, so VS Code knows it's so that we know, the computer knows it's a Python file. And then in your extensions here, you're going to want to make sure that you have the Python. VS Code will probably recommend that you install this, but yeah, you want to make sure you install this this Python extension. It gives you the whole like code completion and IntelliSense and things like that, and also makes it easier to run. Okay, so we're going to have our first program, which is simply going to just say print. So this is the print function, kind of like the alert function in JavaScript. And we say hello world, no semicolons required. Actually, if you do, it would give you an error. So I'm going to save that. And now one way that we can run this is we can actually just go to our command prompt here. If I hit dir, that stands for directory. It shows me what's in this directory, and there's main.py. And I can simply type Python, which will run the Python executable that we installed. Python, and then we type the name of the file, main.py. And ta-da! It runs it in the console, and it says hello world. Right? If we change that to hello Python and we hit save, I can then hit the up arrow key to just go cycle through the past commands, right? So I can hit up arrow key and run python main.py, and now it says hello Python. Okay, that's the basic setup. You install Python, download it, install it, add the extension here in VS Code, and then you just write your programs in here and run it like that. Now there is another way to run it in VS Code. If you right-click, if you right-click in the open area here, you can say run Python file in terminal. Visual Studio Code comes with a built-in terminal, which is basically command prompt, right? And you'll see here it ran, now it does a really big command. It basically ran python.exe on this file. It just uses the absolute paths, right, where everything is. And it did my hello Python. I like to, if you right-click on the top here, you can move panel to the right. And then I think it's CLS. Oops, I got to click on here. CLS will clear the console here. And anyway, so you can do that, run Python file in terminal, and it shows up here. So you can write your code and see it here. But if you prefer having an undocked terminal, because you can't undock this terminal, it has to stay part of VS Code. If you like to have it separate, you can also just run your code in the command prompt. Okay, so that's your setup if you want to do Python using VS Code. If you don't want this, of course, you shouldn't have watched this, and the other videos will show you how to get going with repl.it. All right, is there anything else? Anything I'm forgetting? Oh, yeah, here too, you could just type also python main.py, and it'll run. I think actually if you just click on the play button, the default is run Python file. Yeah, there you go. Hello Python. And if you don't like you can add like a /n, that's a new line, and that just gives you a little more space when you run it. Anyway, it doesn't look pretty, but you can still do a lot of things with Python in the console. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope that made sense. Take care and see you next week. If I can